Alright, I found some sockeye salmon from the Copper River in Alaska. Fresh. Look at that. That little piece was 10 bucks. This stuff is $30 a pound where I'm from. Pretty ridiculous, right? Yeah, I got pretty lucky and found this today. Pretty much top of the line salmon from what I'm told. And I also have another piece over here that has been previously frozen, but I'm gonna chop this up and try this out. All right, here is some Yukon Kita salmon, previously frozen. So you can kind of see the difference here between Yukon Kita, previously frozen salmon, and then over here you got Copper River sockeye fresh. That stuff. I don't think I've ever seen fish that look like that, so I'm fired up to try this. As you can see, this is like a little more pale pink, kind of an orange. Here you got your bright red. It looks like a totally different fish. But I'm gonna eat both of them today. So I'm gonna chop this one up and put it next to it here. I am starving. I got a straight up feast for breakfast today, guys. So I got about 1.5 pounds of wild caught salmon, North American salmon, not Chinese. I got about 1.5 pounds of raw grass-fed beef ribs and chuck roast, kind of blended together to kind of make up for the rest of my meat. So I got about 3 pounds of meat total. And I'm experimenting with butter again. This unfortunately is pasteurized, but I got this Organic Valley organic sweet cultured butter, and it looks pretty decent. It's got some yellow in it. I've had way better butter than this, but I'm gonna go online today and check around and see if I can get some better butter. Unfortunately, raw butter is just not available around here, but unless I make it myself, which I'm not willing to do, too much work. So basically, the reason I'm experimenting with butter is because I think I'm going to try to get away from cheese because of the whole casein issue. It's taken me almost a year of eating raw primal to finally wake up to the fact that I might be reacting to casein. The reason why I think I'm just realizing this now as opposed to when I was drinking all that raw milk and stuff before is because I was actually drinking A2 raw milk, which had the different type of casein in it. So I wasn't reacting to it, I wasn't having any issues. But these past couple of weeks I've had some issues just being really tired, like sleeping all day, and achiness, body pains, stiffness, like basically a total autoimmune attack. And it coincides with the weather here in the Midwest. So when we get big weather storms and stuff like that, a lot of times it can totally incapacitate me, suck all my energy out, give me like arthritis type symptoms and stuff like that. And I've been dealing with this for a long time, like 10 years-ish, somewhere around there, if not longer. This was also an issue that my mom dealt with growing up. Every time a storm would come in, she would just get wrecked. So I blame some of it on the weather, the low pressure systems, I think kind of wreak havoc on our bodies. But at the same time, I believe I can have some dairy reactions, right? I've been having dairy reactions to this cheese, this A1 cheese that I'm getting from Whole Foods. And it happens at the same time these storms come in, so it gets really confusing. So diagnosing health problems can get very confusing if you're not really paying attention and isolating all the variables down. But I'm pretty sure I'm reacting to A1 cheese for many reasons. One of the reasons is that I do have the celiac thing going on, and I 100% react to gluten, that's without a doubt. And they say a lot of people that react to gluten also react to casein. So I'm going to pay better attention to that, because I definitely don't want my immune system attacking my own body every time I eat cheese. So I'm going to experiment with butter, because a lot of the, if not most of the casein proteins are pushed out of the butter when it's made. So I'm going to give this a shot and see if I can supplement my fat a little bit with some butter. So anyways, off my butter tangent, I want to see you guys, I want you guys to see me eat this sockeye salmon. I can't wait to try this, so. With the skin, by the way, too. So here we go. Cheers. Here, I'm going to take a smaller piece. That was really good. Really, really good. Very tasty. The best part about that was the texture of the meat remained intact because it wasn't frozen. So all the tissues weren't destroyed by freezing. So it was like biting into actual flesh, not frozen and thawed flesh, you know, which can kind of like fall apart in your body or in your mouth. Very good. Check out the rich redness in there. As opposed to previously frozen over here. This is a different kind. This is not sockeye on the right. Let's see the difference. Wow, this is really a treat. You know, even though I only could afford a half pound of this because it was like, you know, 12, 15 bucks, something like that. It's still really good to get this kind of nutrition in your body, even if it's in small amounts. You know, get as much as you can. But man, that deep red is just amazing. That's a very solid food right there. Very tasty. Man, I can't wait to see what kind of energy I get off of this in about 5 minutes. So I'll keep filming until I kind of get a little energy boost here. Wow. I'm starting to get a little pick-me-up already here. I'm really, really hungry today. So the guy at Whole Foods said that these are extra fatty because they catch them at the beginning of the Copper River up in Alaska before they get leaned up. I guess before their journey they start leaning up. So they position themselves at a certain part of the river to where they can catch them where they're extra fat. And he's right, man, this is a nice chunky fish here. There's definitely some fat laced in there. For being wild caught, this is amazing. That stuff is delicious. So let me try the other salmon here that was previously frozen. Different species I think too, but let's try this now and compare. Look at a major difference. That's a major, major difference. Doesn't taste as good. The texture and consistency is weird because it, you know, it's frozen, so you notice that too when you're chewing it. Very different. Not nearly as flavorful. Wow, you know, I really didn't, until today, I did not know there was this big of a difference between salmon. This is amazing. I've mostly concentrated a lot of my meat experiments on beef, so I definitely know my beef. Now I'm getting to know my salmon a little bit, which I think is a very important part of the raw diet, you know. See, now I'm starting to get my energy boost. Now I'm starting to get my cognitive enhancement, you know, from the omegas probably. That's always the first thing I notice when I eat raw, is my mind. I mean, I was even like kind of stumbling over my words earlier and stuff like that because I'm just like so hungry and I haven't eaten in 24 hours and stuff like that, so my brain just doesn't, that's how I know I'm hungry, is my brain starts slowing down a little bit. And now it's starting to ramp up, and I've only eaten just a few pieces of this fish. It's amazing. All right, so I just wanted to kind of give you guys a real good salmon video there with some good quality fish. Show you guys the difference, you know, between the wild caught sockeye and this wild caught previously frozen. This is fresh, this is frozen. You know, a couple differences here between the cuts, and yeah, definitely a major difference. If you can afford the wild sockeye, I would definitely recommend that. I assume that most people can't, especially if you're located in the Midwest. You know, it's 30 bucks a pound. I assume it's cheaper on the coast, but anyways, hope you guys enjoyed my video there. If you got any questions, post them down below. I'll try to reply back right away. And please share these videos and like and subscribe, and keep checking in for more. Thanks, guys.